About one more minute before we get started in this all levels class. I always love to hear from you if you have any concerns, any discomfort, pain in your body anywhere, maybe something you did over the weekend, maybe Saturday's class, if you participated in the Saturday's class, the level 2 class, maybe there was something that, tweaked a little bit. Let me know. I try to make sure that everything we do is with good alignment, good instruction, but sometimes I'm a little off, maybe, or maybe you just experienced something that was a little, um, you know, not right. So, all right. So we're right at the top of the hour. We're going to go ahead and get started in our practice together today. My name is Tonya, and this is a comeback yoga class. This is a comeback yoga class designed for all levels. So, beginners, experienced practitioners, so you can make it a little bit more challenging for yourself, or you can back off a little. I will show all different kinds of variations on different postures. We'll be moving a little bit with some gentle movements, doing a little bit of standing work. You won't really need any props today unless you like to use something in your practice. I like to usually have a towel, a blanket, or a pillow. This helps with my head when I'm lying down. It's not required for today, but it might be nice. And if you are in Colorado and it's kind of cold today, maybe just making sure that you stay warm. So maybe even having an extra blanket for when we move into our final meditation, so that your body stays warm as temperature will drop in your body, as it's trying to keep your core warm. Your limbs might get cold, your fingers, toes, and feet and hands. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start just by rubbing the palms together. Just getting some warmth from those hands. And taking the hands now, cupping the hands over the eyes, bringing the heel of the hand at the cheekbone and the knuckles at the brow, creating just a little bit of space for your eyes. Maybe they're blinking or maybe they're closed. This is just one way that we can A, acknowledge our eyes for all that they see, all that they bring in, the impressions we bring in through our eyes, and how important our eyes are um, throughout our life, and the sights that we have seen throughout our life. And if we're looking at a computer, how important it is that we do this to nourish our eyes, and how important the eyes are that we take care. And keeping the hands cupped, place your hands onto your lap, maybe keeping your eyes closed. We'll just take a moment, feeling maybe some nourishment, some moisture that came into the eyes from that little brief practice that you can do anytime. If you feel a little sensory overload with what you're seeing or what you've seen, or if your eyes are just overwhelmed working at the computer, or if you're in a place that is overwhelming, there's a lot of visual cues that might give you a little sensory overload. Just cup the eyes and breathe natural. Notice if that provides a calming effect into your body. And the spine is tall, the jaw relaxed. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then go ahead and lift your gaze. And we'll start on our backs today. Again, maybe bringing that pillow or that towel under the head if you like. We'll start in constructive rest with the feet about hip distance and the arms resting to your sides. And taking a deep breath in, maybe an audible sigh out. A couple more times like that. And turning your palms face up, start to bring the fingers now into the palms and flex your wrists. And then release that, extend the fingers. A couple more times, bringing the fingers into the palms and releasing. Good. And then bring the arms up overhead. Bring the thumbs into the palms. Wrap your fingers around the thumbs. Rotate your wrists. And rotate the other way. And then grab one leg, bringing that knee towards your chest. And then straighten your leg to the ceiling. And circle your ankle. And circle the other way. And bring your knee to your chest. And lower your leg down. Other side. Knee to chest. Straighten. And circle the ankle. So if you've just woken up, just kind of getting some of that morning stiffness out of the body. If you've been sitting all day watching this replay, could be that you're getting that all day stiffness out of the body. All right. Bring your knee in. Now send that leg straight down to the floor. Take your opposite foot to the thigh of the opposite leg. And we're going to take our knee off to the side. Take your hand, just press it lightly down onto that top knee with a little bit of resistance. So don't just let the knee come straight down, just kind of create a little bit of resistance. And now your outside arm, you're going to circle it down next to the hip and overhead. A couple rotations in this direction, maybe 3 or 4. And go the other way. And you can turn your head and look in the opposite direction. Good. And then coming down with that arm and just hold for 3 breaths here. And draw your legs back to center. Take that ankle on the opposite knee there. Same leg is straight. And hold it here. Can keep it there or slide your foot to the floor so both knees bent. Or bring your knees towards your chest. You can grab, if the knees are close to the chest, you can grab behind the leg here and maybe do a little rocking forward and back or find stillness, whatever might feel better in your body. And lowering your feet down to the floor, take a moment in constructive rest just to notice side to side. Tendency is here now to adjust and try to fix or change things. And No need, just pause in the stillness and the silence and see what arises. All right, let's go the second side. So straightening that leg down, your foot coming onto or towards the thigh, and taking your hand and drawing your knee across your chest towards the floor. Put a little pressure, that hand and knee, so you're not just pulling the leg down to the floor. There's a little bit of resistance. Take your outstretched arm, circle it down, around, just going in a range of motion that feels okay for your shoulder. You might bend the elbow, you might go in a smaller circle. Just kind of explore the range that's possible on this side. It's going to be different, likely. So we all have different patterns, different habits. Let's go the other way. We might have had an injury or surgery on this side. But it's important in all of our joints, whether they're, mobile or immobile, that we try to get some blood flow to them. All right, release that and hold your arm out to the side for 3 breaths. Especially as we get older, of course, we're all getting older, right? So it's important to keep those joints mobile, juicy. Okay, come onto your back, that ankle on the bottom leg, bottom knee. You can hold it there or slide your foot in and maybe bring the knee to the chest. All right. Lower your feet down and then straighten both legs down to the floor. Stay there a couple of breaths, just sensing. And then just kind of rock your legs like windshield wipers side to side. You can have them join in union like the more modern day cars, or opposite directions like the older cars. If you remember those old trucks, used to go the other direction. Okay. All right. And then sweep your arms next to your ears, flex your feet, reach to the wall behind you, and then lower your arms down, sweeping them down to your sides and pointing the feet. Let's do that 3 more times, reaching long, exhaling, circling those arms down. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. And rolling onto your stomach now. Coming onto the forearms for a sphinx pose. The arms are parallel and the hands pressing down. You can have your arms more forward or more back, and you can be more on your stomach. So you don't have to have those elbows under the shoulders. If it's more comfortable on the back to be with those elbows forward, it's a good place to be. And we'll just take 2 more breaths here, feeling the length of our body, stretching through the spine, stretching through the legs, and then release down, letting your head come to the back of your hands with the elbows wide. Notice your right leg and just kind of energize that leg, hug the muscle to the bones, and then lift the leg a little or a lot, keeping the leg nice and straight, and release it down. Notice your other leg. Lift it up, squeeze, lengthen, and lower down. Let's lift both now. So notice them both first. Energize the legs and then lift and lower. Now, keeping your hands under your head, press down into the mat with the hands as the elbows lift up slightly. Now, press your hips down, engage your legs, and simultaneously, we're going to energize and lift the torso, the elbows, the head, and the legs simultaneously. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Just release everything. Feel that contrast between the energy, the muscular engagement, and then the release. Now stretch one arm forward and roll to your side. Gonna grab that top leg, the ankle, anyways, and bring that knee in line with the hip. Can have your bottom leg straight or it can be bent. You can stay here or maybe roll to your front. You could also, another option is to press down, coming up onto that forearm so that you're in that Sphinx pose variation. So, whatever is available in this moment, just meet yourself there and we'll hold for 3 more breaths. And release your leg, come onto your stomach again. Stretch your other arm, roll to that side, grab your ankle. The ankle's not close by. You can grab your towel or your whatever you might have. Sometimes bringing the knee out in front makes it more accessible. And then, if you like, roll onto your stomach, maybe coming onto the forearm or maybe staying down. And gently release, coming onto your stomach. Now bring your hands like right under your shoulders or slightly behind. The elbows are going to squeeze in towards the midline of your back. Tuck your toes so that your heels lift. Engage your legs so the kneecaps might lift. Look straight down at the floor and start to lift your chest a little bit. Push down a little bit more into the floor. And now release the knees down and push yourself up to tabletop, or sorry, modified plank. So one variation of plank here, the knees are down. Another variation, the knees can lift. Let's take both knees now underneath the hips, kind of crawling those knees so they come under the hips for cat cow. At your pace, we inhale, the belly draws down towards the floor. And as we exhale, we press the navel up towards the ceiling. You can add some movement in the head here as well. Continuing to go at your own pace, at your range of motion. What does it feel like in your range? Is there places of resistance, tension, areas that are immobile? Just notice there's no judgment here. And last one. Good. And coming to tabletop, take your knees a little bit wider, maybe a lot wider. Point your toes back and send your hips towards the heels. Send your left arm, or whichever one, underneath. or thread the needle, letting your head come down maybe to the floor or to the back of your opposite hand. And release that. Come up through center. Other hand goes under. Thread it under. Just sensing your breath in this moment of pause, this moment of stillness. Notice the quiet. Unwind. Stretch your arms forward. Maybe anchor the finger pads down. Take 2 more breaths. Rise up to tabletop. Bring those knees under the hips. Send the hips slightly back. Extend the arms forward and lift your hips up for downward dog. Big stretch in those legs. All right. Bringing the knees back down to the ground. And take the back one leg and bring it forward. So we're coming into a lunge. You could do that also from downward dog if you wanted. We come into a low lunge. We'll bring the hands up onto the thigh here. Push down and maybe go towards a more 90-90. How about we move forward and back? Here's where you could pad your knee with your towel or blanket. So pushing down onto that leg, let's exhale and maybe come down a little deeper. Inhale, push, and go towards straight. If this bothers that knee, go ahead and pat it. One more time, come down, and then push to rise up. Now we'll come down and stay, bringing the hands down to the ground. Maybe lift the back knee or keep it down to the ground. And step back to downward dog or lower that right knee or whichever knee down. Just kind of bring it back to tabletop and then downward dog. So there's a couple different ways you can move there. And from downward dog or tabletop, take your other leg forward. Comes between the hands. Again, maybe patting that back knee with a blanket or towel. And pressing onto the thigh, press up. Your back heel can be lifted or it can be pointed straight back. I find that if my toes are pointed straight back, it takes less pressure off of my knee. All right, and come down a little bit, making your legs strong. Push and straighten ish, and back down to that lunge. One more time. And then coming into the lunge, hands to the floor. Lift your back knee. We'll step feet together to the front of the mat, bringing those feet under the hips or wherever they landed. Sometimes that's where they need to be. If the hands don't reach the floor, Bend the knees and maybe bring the hands to the shins or forearms onto the thighs. And bending those knees, dropping the hips. Bring your arms all the way up for an extended mountain. Feeling the hands touch overhead and hands come to the heart. Releasing the arms down to your sides. With your next inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees slightly, come forward to a fold, touching down. Step one leg back into a lunge. Make your legs really strong. Assist yourself up onto that knee for a crescent lunge. Bring your arms up overhead, crescent. And hold here, exhaling, maybe bending the back leg or straightening it, getting strong through your abdominals. So front and back. Reach forward and down, back into a lunge. Step the back foot forward, coming into a forward fold to the front of the mat. Hands coming up the legs to a flat back, elbows squeeze up to the ceiling. Exhale, release those elbows and arms. Head comes down. Bend your knees, coming into a chair pose. Arms can come up or to the sides. And then let's reach up, feel the air moving across your skin, hands touch or not, and exhale, hands landing at the heart. Let's go again. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Feel the energy come in your body as you look up if that's safe for the neck. Otherwise, look forward or down. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, touch down. Stepping your other leg back into a lunge. Make your legs strong by connecting to the ground. Assist yourself up to a lunge. Bringing the arms up when you're ready for stability. Look up if you want to challenge yourself for balance. Otherwise, look forward or down. One more breath. Coming down. Stepping feet together again into a fold. Bringing the hands up the legs as you squeeze those elbows up towards the ceiling. Release, straightening the arms, releasing the spine. Bending your knees, lowering the hips like you're going to sit down in a chair. Really important kind of functional movement. And then come up to stand, hands to the heart. Okay, facing the long edge of your mat, taking your legs out nice and wide. Turning the feet so they're parallel to one another. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, turn your right toes out and bend your knee. Inhale, straighten your leg and reach your arms up. Come down. Last one. Now reach towards your front foot, forearm to the thigh or elbow. Take your top arm next to the ear. We'll wrap that top arm now, bringing it around the waist. Maybe it lands at the back. Maybe that shoulder rolls open a little bit more. We'll push down to rise up, all the way up. Open up those arms, parallel the feet. Release your arms down. Bring one elbow under the other, grabbing opposite shoulders. Press those elbows together and down. Inhale, open your arms, turn your left toes out to the other side. Exhale and bend. Two more. Straighten, arms lift. Exhale and bend and lower. Inhale, push. Feel that deep connection and feel that pause, that even that moment of silence before the next one. I think I added an extra one here. Okay. And then with your next breath, reach to the foot, elbow or forearm to the thigh. Top arm comes up next to the ear, extended side angle. So feeling the surface, the floor, and then reaching to the corner where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then bring your arm around, hand comes to the back. And pressing down, rising up, unwinding, crossing one elbow over the other, grabbing those shoulders and squeezing down. Inhale to open your arms. Heel toe your feet in just one or two, so you're a little closer together. Bringing your hands to your sides or your hips. Start to fold forward. And as you come forward now, release the hands underneath the shoulders. Now, if you had a block, I suppose you could use that here or maybe close to a chair. And then we're going to take our left hand, fingertips to the floor or to that prop, and reach the right arm out to the side, straight out to the side. And then pull that shoulder back. So almost kind of lean towards the left and then reach that arm up to the ceiling. Keep turning. Take this length of the spine and release the hand down. Other side. That arm goes straight out to the side. And then just kind of a little like shrug and then open the arm straight to the ceiling. So the shoulders may or may not be stacked. Press down into the legs and then release the hand down. Placing a little bend in the knees, hands coming up onto the lap. Look forward and we'll rise, rise, rise all the way up to standing. Heel toe those feet together or hop together. We're going to do eagle pose today. Challenge for balance. So if you want to get near a wall, you could also um, not lift um, one foot off the ground. So you'll be using 2 feet for balance if you have 2 feet to balance with. All right. So bringing those hips low and down into that chair pose. I'll kind of show from an angle. Pushing down into one leg. The other leg's going to come across. So crisscross at the legs. So the toes can come to the floor, or you can bring the leg higher up. So there's a little flexion in the foot, and we squeeze. Now, the top leg, you're going to bring that same arm under and crisscross at those elbows. Hands to the shoulders, and maybe coming down a little deeper, like you're going to sit down in a chair. Just use that foot if you want. You could even be here. This might be enough of a challenge today, just standing more upright. We could also work over time to sit back like you're going to sit in a chair and begin to trust the stability in our base and our feet and in our core. Yeah, good. And then open the arms and release that leg. Walk it out. Just kind of maybe do a little shaking, a little yoga dance, maybe a little jostling. And we'll go to the other side. So first, just kind of getting your foundation here, finding the bottoms of those feet, the points of connection that give you that stability. Find yourself tall, stable. You could even say, I am stable, I am grounded, I am rooted. And then take a little bend in those knees, like you're going to sit in a chair. It could be a big bend. Lift your other leg up and bring it across. Oh, that's my same leg. Other leg across. Other arm comes under, grabbing shoulders or eagle arms. Or squeeze. Those hips come down a little bit more, maybe, if it doesn't put any pain on the knee or pressure on the knee. So that's where getting the more, we're working the glutes and the big muscle groups more a little bit. Nice work. I know you're doing it. Again, maybe the foot's down. Great. And let's unwind. Nice work. Walk it out. So good to challenge ourselves. Yeah. Lots of variations. Some days I even like to explore myself and the different variations. All right, let's come to the top edge of our mat and rolling the shoulders down and back. With your next inhale, reaching your arms up, extending, salute, exhale, and forward fold. Sliding the hands up the legs, elbows squeeze towards the ceiling. Exhale, release, and fold. We're going to send our one leg back. It doesn't matter which one. Send that leg back. And we'll release that knee down to the floor. Or you can keep it lifted. Okay. We're going to move into a twist. So first crescent lunge. So inhale, the arms come up. And on your exhale, reach forward again and twist over that front leg, pressing those palms together. And getting nice and long. Let's take one more breath. In and out. And on your next inhale, push down into the legs, rise, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, take your hand down. If your back knee was down, lift it up, step forward to a forward fold, feet under the hips. Come up halfway, drawing the shoulders and elbows away from the floor, and then rounding forward. Taking your other leg back to a lunge. You can stay here and assist up into the crescent lunge or release that knee down. Either way, push into the legs. Make your legs really strong as you reach and rise. And from that position of stability, we'll reach around, coming into the twist with length, breath. With your next inhale, maybe you assist, come back up into that crescent, and take it down. Stepping feet again together or to the front under the hips. Folding, releasing. And bringing your hips down to the floor. Walk your hands back to get there. And grabbing the back of your legs here, tucking your chin. Roll down. Use the support of those hands to get you down. And then once you get down, bring those knees into the chest. And then cross one knee over the other, just like we did in our eagle pose. Maybe wrapping the lower legs. Bring one elbow under the other, hands to the shoulders, maybe backs of the hands together for eagle crunches. So with your next exhale, lift your hips and your knees and elbows come towards one another. Inhale and lower down. Send those legs away. Exhale, lift. Inhale. You might just tap the feet down. Exhale. Maybe only doing the lower body, maybe the upper body. Let's do 3 more. And last one. Good. Unwind. Bring the knees to the chest. And we're going to switch those legs. So taking the other knee across, wrapping maybe the lower legs. Otherwise, just kind of bring those outer legs together. Taking the other elbow under, grabbing opposite shoulders or backs of hands. And let's do, I think we did about 5. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 3 more. 2, 1. Good. And releasing, knees to chest. And then straightening your legs down to the floor for our reverse plank pose. So this is really going to work the back of the body instead of the front. So placing the hands down next to you, you could also grab the sides of your mat. Press down into the triceps, the shoulders, your heels. Start to energize the legs. So hugging muscles, even start to feel your glutes energize. And that might be enough. The next option is to really push down into everything as you lift the hips up slightly, or maybe they come up a lot depending on how much effort and strength you put into it. And then release down nice and easy. And now roll to your side, facing the long edge of your mat, and come up onto your forearm. We'll bend the bottom knee, top leg straight. So you might stay here and just kind of lift the ribs. Otherwise, push down into that forearm and lift your hips. Top arm comes up. Another option is to lift your leg. So those are a couple of variations. And let's hold for 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Coming down. And I'm going to turn around to face. So I'm still facing the screen. We're going to do the other side. So either forearm, some of you might even do it from here. Sometimes that's even more comfortable, or, depends on what's going on. If you have elbow issues or shoulder issues, being on the hand might be more available. So bottom knee down to the floor, top leg straight. Just lifting the ribs, lifting the waistline away from the floor, you're going to feel a little bit of core engagement. Okay. That might be where you stay. The next stage is to push down and lift up. You might already be here. Next stage would be to lift the top leg. And then, of course, there's another stage yet where both legs are lifted, feet pressing down. So we'll take 3 more breaths here. Nice. And then coming down. All right, good work. Coming onto your back. And bringing those knees in again, forward and back, side to side. Straighten your legs. Arms reach overhead. Slide your legs to one corner of your mat, bottom corner, and your torso and your arms slide to the upper corner of the same side. So just a little side bend crescent pose here for 3 breaths. Hips and shoulders down on the floor, heels are down. One more breath. And then sliding feet and arms and torso to the other opposite corners of your mat. 3 more breaths. And sliding back through center. Arms come down to your sides. And then sweep your arms up next to your ears. Point your feet here. Reach really long. Exhale, sweep the arms down to your sides and flex your feet. Inhale, point, reach, getting really long. Exhaling, arms coming down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, arms down. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. One more time. Good. And pausing for just a moment. Moving now into our final relaxation. So you can take your blanket or towel if you were using it and place it either under your head or for a little bit more support, place it under or behind the knees and straighten the legs like so. It's one option. Certainly, though, if there's any other postures that you want to do for today's practice, you can find those movements or move into stillness. You could be sitting, you could be lying on your front, your side, your back. And once you get yourself comfortable and set up, see if you can listen to the quiet, listen to the silence. So if there is a lot of noise in your surroundings, what kind of noise do you notice? What kind of sounds do you notice in your room? Maybe sounds coming from a distant place. And between the sounds, notice the silence. And if what is coming up is more internal sounds, the sounds of your thoughts, what do they have to say? What is arising in the mind? And do you notice the quiet between the thoughts? And if there doesn't seem to be quiet in between the thoughts, think of your thoughts as sort of like clouds. They're separate from the next cloud, from the next thought. And it is that quiet between those thoughts that can show us oftentimes what is really present. And it may be places that we're uncomfortable with, or it may be places of absolute ease and relief. Either way, it matters not. There's no judgment, no expectations. This is a practice of exploring that stillness and finding comfort and ease in the quiet and learning how to kind of tame the loud, how to tame the chatter, how to tame the busyness, to find that separation, that stillness, the end of the inhale and the start of the exhale, where there is that pause, is just like this. So take just a few more moments in this quiet space, maybe just now noticing your breath. And now begin to welcome in the sounds again, welcoming the distant sounds, and the more immediate sounds as you start to bring yourself back to the room, back to the surface, back to any senses that are available, ways that you can enliven those senses, maybe bringing a deeper breath, bringing in deeper awareness of any other, um, maybe taste, maybe smells, touch. And when you feel ready and would like to enliven a little bit more in your body, animate a little bit more, do so in ways that call. Could be in the joints, could be this that long stretch, and maybe bringing your knees to your chest. If you're lying down, and then if you'd like to roll to your side or rock and roll up, a little bit more energizing emergence from that quiet place. And once you arrive, if you can maybe either keep your eyes closed or close them, allowing those lids to close just for a moment, as if that is the quiet, that is the moment of stillness before the dawn breaks, before the next breath. Draw the hands together in front of the heart if you'd like to join me in closing our time together. Taking a gaze, a bow to the heart with great love and respect. I honor you all for the work that you've done, the work that you continue to do, and for your service. Can release the hands and open the gaze, lift the gaze, and start to welcome in a little bit more sensation, senses in your surroundings as you move into the rest of your day. It's been my honor to practice with you today, to serve your practice, support your practice, and hope to see you again, either here on the YouTube channel. Come Back Yoga's YouTube channel is live and present and quite active. So we have a lot of classes here on the channel. We still have some classes in person, I believe, in Colorado. Some of them are on hold for a little while, but anyways, wherever you're coming from in the world, I hope you are well, warm, you have all of your needs met, um, and we'll see you soon. I guess I won't see you till the new year. Oh, I am subbing on the new year for I don't know who it is, but subbing 8 a.m. on the New Year's Day. So hope to see you then. Take good care. Until next time, be well.